So for question 6, we're given distinct values for a, b, and c and asked to evaluate 4 different expressions that all involve a, b, and c. I guess I'll color code these. So a, whenever I see it, I'm going to use this blue. B is going to be this 4. I mean, it's green, right? But we're going to substitute in for a 4, and we'll use this yellow highlighter for C. So the first thing that I see that I'm going to do is I need to take and square A. I need to square A, and then I need to multiply that by the value of C. And this is fun. Let me do all of these. Here I'm going to 5 times C, and I've got my A, and I'm going to subtract my B. That's probably enough of this. Let's look at the first two. So common mistake that I saw was, whoops. Look, I want to be really clear. If you saw this program and problem and you wrote down 3a squared and then below that you wrote positive 9, I literally deducted a point because the opposite of 3 squared is not 9. That's negative 9. So be careful here. And that's not what we have anyways. What we have is, so that's kind of two mistakes being made. What we have here is we have the opposite of 3 getting squared, right? A is getting squared. What is A? A is negative 3. So you can see here I'm squaring the negative 3, and when I do so I get a value of positive 9. Negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 9. This is never positive 9. This is always negative 9. So it's an important notation feature that I want to keep stressing. From it, then I'm going to add 11 times the number 10, which looks like 100 and what is that? 110. So I'm just adding 110, and 110 plus 9 is going to equal 19. So this was 19. For the next question here, a again is negative 3. So I've got to be real careful here. There's a negative 3. And I'm going to subtract from that b, which is positive 4, and then I'm going to square that result, add 1, and I'm going to add to that 5 times 10, which is 50, right? 5 times 10. So in my parentheses, I end up getting negative 7, and I'm very careful not to just throw the parentheses away. It's negative 7 getting squared. Negative 7 squared is the number 49. And you can see I'm going to add a 1 to that and then plus 50. So this is looking like 50 plus 50, which is 100. So for B, the answer was 100. For C, let's see. So for C, A again is negative 3. So in these parentheses, I'm going to place negative 3 and then plus a 10, and then I'm going to subtract 4 times a, and remember a is a negative 3, and then I'm going to add to that 2 times b, and b was the number 4. So negative 3 and 10 is a positive 7, and then when I multiply negative 4 times negative 3, this is plus 12, and then finally 2 times 4 is the number 8. These are nice numbers to add, right? 12 and 8 is 20. So I've got 7 plus 20, which looks like 27. So part C has an answer of 27. And then the last problem is a quotient. In my denominator, well, yeah, in my denominator, a is the number negative 3. So I've got a negative 3 minus 2. So this denominator becomes a negative 5. In my numerator, I have 2 times b. That's 2 times 4. I'm just going to write the 8. Plus c, which is 10, and then plus an additional 2. So I've got 8 and 2 is 10, plus another 10 is 20. So I've got 20 over negative 5, which is the number negative 4. So this expression evaluates to negative 4. And you know what? I want to caution some of you. Some of you are, you know, I saw interesting things. Be careful with your notation. When you write these things, You're communicating with me. And if I can't read what you've written because you're not intentional with your pen strokes, or there's little things or erasure things, it's not just for you to get through the problem, but you're communicating your steps to me. So please don't lose points because of a failure to communicate. If you communicate accurately, I think this was a 4 point problem. Actually, this was a 3 point problem. Even if you got the number -4 wrong, you probably could pick up 1 or 2 points. If I can see, this progression, and I can find maybe your 1 or 2 small errors. So please focus on solid communication. And if your penmanship needs to, if you need to work on that, do that. Work on these characters.